Karen Vincent. I'm a content creator and I was a former human resource manager. I would like to call myself a humor resource instead, not human resource. So that's a little about me. Whoever tried to clap, thank you. God bless you. You will pass in your semester, 100%. Oh, now that everyone wants to pass in their semester, okay. Now I know how to motivate you all. Pass your semesters, okay. So this is a little about me, about my life. It's I come from humble beginnings, bro. So my parents, they struggled a lot to send me to a convent school. This is how it all began. So convent school, my parents were very excited to send me to a convent school. They really worked hard. They arranged the fees and attended a lot of interviews, stood in queues to just let me go to convent school. You may ask, Karen, wow, dude, you know so much about your parents' struggle. Of course I do. Because my parents told me this before I went to school every single day. They were like, better study. We were standing in the queue for you. So I had to study. So this was a little about me in convent school, going there. And I still remember my dad saw the fee structure. So do you all remember the fee structure is split up, right? So you'll have your tuition fee, your curriculum fee, library fee. My dad looked at the receptionist and he said, Madam, please remove library fee. 100% my daughter won't go that side. That to 10,000 you have charged for library fees. So I was in second standard that time and my dad was like, read physics, chemistry, read Brief History of Time, Stephen Hawking's book. I was like, who's Stephen? Like at this point. And my dad was like, no, you have to read books and everything. So I forced myself to go to the library every single day and look at photos. Don't ask which photos, okay? So, hey, I was in second standard. I was in second standard, guys. I was in second standard. Calm down. So, I was a convent school baddie. And one thing about we come from a humble background as a family. Yeah, we are more humble than a Kendrick Lamar song. Yeah, honestly. Hey, thanks, man. There's nothing to clap, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. So, honestly, we inspired Kendrick Lamar to do the song Humble at one point. So, that's how humble we were. My mom was a receptionist, okay? She started off as a receptionist in office. And when she was pregnant with my sister, she was studying and she did her MBA. And then she became a human resource manager. And my dad was a mechanic. So he had his own garage. He was a supervisor at Hero Honda, at Splendor. And then he started his own garage and he was a mechanic. And then later he decided to upgrade. And he opened, and he named his garage after me. It was called Karen Motors. Yeah, it was very English name. Imagine you have Kalyani Motors, Prakash Motors, and then you have Karen Motors. So, so people thought it was some American-based motors. Then they saw me and they were like, oh, this is definitely not American. So, this was my upbringing. Honestly, I come from a very humble background. My parents have taught me one thing, and that is to work hard, because I've seen them make it in life by just like working hard. And one thing, when you're coming from a very humble background, okay, there will be people who will, when you're surrounded by people who are really well in life. Now, for example, when I was in convent school, I was surrounded by people who are very good at, having influence in their family. So I come from a family full of influences. Their dad was like a lawyer and, a chartered accountant. And my family was a very humble family, a mechanic and a receptionist who's working hard, and my dad like that. So this was about me as a family. And honestly, somewhere the insecurity seeped in. Because I clearly remember there was this bald uncle, okay? I'll tell you the story. No, I have nothing towards bald men. I love them with all my heart. But there was this one particular bald uncle who came up to me and he was like, oh, I know your dad. You are Vincent's daughter. I know him. He's that mechanic. And he said it with so much disrespect. He said it with so much looking down at someone. And honestly, I was a little shaken, because one thing a child should never go through is feel embarrassed of their parents' profession. Because I totally believe we are here also because of your parents' effort, of the amount of love and respect, love and effort that they've invested in you. And when that uncle told me that, I was shaken. I was like, I really never thought it would be such a big deal. But then in my head, I was like, I will show what a mechanic's daughter could do, I will show him. And in my head, I'm like, I will really make it big. Okay, I'll talk to you about my school life, dude. School life is something very different. Like your school and my school, very, very similar. What do schools believe? If you're academically peaking, you are talented. Yeah, I was academically challenged. So I had talent, I had no talent whatsoever. So in my school, they believe if you have talent, if you could play an instrument, yeah, if you could sing, play an instrument, or even dance, oh, you are talented. Okay, so they will regard you as one huge talent. And of course, you have talent if you can do fireless cooking. So, yeah, these are the criteria in my school to become talented. And honestly, I didn't have talent, so I decided, you know what, I'll become very good at fireless cooking. So I started. I took Parle-G biscuit, I took Cadbury chocolate, and I distinctly remember, I kept it under the sun. The chocolate, I kept it under the sun, took Parle-G biscuit, coated it with chocolate, and presented it to the judge. Judge, this is a chocolate eclair from France. It's inspired by France, like some master chef, cooking genius. I was disqualified from that competition immediately. Yeah, nothing to clap about, please. I was disqualified. So, honestly, that was my life in school. I didn't know the definition of a loser, but I was made to feel like one, honestly. Because genuinely, in school, sometimes we get picked on. Like, I believe some people here would have experienced it. Sometimes for your color, the way you look, the way you speak, your accent, whatever, you might have gotten picked on. And in van, and while going home in the van, so these guys used to like tease me, oh, bro, you're dark and everything. So I told my mom, worst thing to ever do, bro. Don't tell your parents, man. My mom, she loved me too much. She still loves, okay. She still loves me too much. So she called the van driver and she's like, sir, avarige protection kodi, sir, please. Keep bodyguard for my daughter, please. What is she going through? It became even worse, okay. So that was, my mom really was very protective of me, and I really tried to do my best. And yeah, so I decided that I want to reinvent myself in college. Like I told myself, I made a conscious decision that in school, I'm closing this chapter, man. Like I don't want to be that demure kid anymore. I want to be a college baddie, go to college and reinvent. Oh, thanks. So yeah, reinvent yourself in college. So that was me. So I started taking part in a lot of extracurricular activities. I had to put myself in uncomfortable places. Like I had to go and participate in competitions. I took part in different competitions like Air Crash, Personality, Mad Ads. There were so many competitions. So I put myself out there and I took a conscious decision that I don't want to remain this silent girl, this very demure, very mindful, with a ribbon in my head. No, I don't want to be that. I will rather be this dawn of the area types, So I was like, okay, let me try and reinvent myself. So this was me being a college baddie. So I used to participate a lot in everything. And while all this is happening in 12th, usually, mostly this happened in 12th. And what happened? There was a financial hit in my family. So, yeah, help. Exactly. That was what I was asking for in 12th. So financially, my family went through financial stress. My dad's business was not doing so well. My mom quit her job the previous year because she needed a break for her health. So honestly, we were going through so much financial struggle, and it was one of the most toughest times of my life because I remember contacting every newspaper, the cutouts that used to come saying wanted, telecallers, people who can do stuff like do work from any place. And you'll also have those fake advertisements that says, per day, 35,000 salary. Yeah, I fell for all those scams. I sat and called all of them. Sir, please, sir, job could be, sir. So this was me. I was a minor. I was 17 that time. So none of the companies wanted to hire me. Otherwise, they will be behind bars. So of course, so I saved them that time. So this was financially I was in a very tough place, guys. So I remember, so there was this one phase in my life where I went to a church, guys. I went to a church and I asked the father, Father, I'll do the work, like cleaning work, like mopping, sweeping your church and everything. I just want some amount in my bank account, bro. Something to live off. Because the difference between older sibling, younger siblings. Younger siblings will eat popcorn during this time of the life, okay? They'll be like, yeah, cool, cool. Older siblings will take care of it. And actually, older siblings will get to work because we can't sit silent. We'll have to do something. We're pretty responsible. Sorry, younger siblings, please learn from us. So, yeah. So, honestly, I started doing all these things, and honestly, life was chaotic, guys. 12th, my life was chaotic. I was doing so many things. I was managing my family, doing work meaning I used to take tuitions. I started taking tuitions in my family. I used to earn, it started from 2000, and then I remember earning around like 10,000 per month. So somehow I was able to make it. And that's when college degree happened. So college happened, I'm there in college, and I wanted to take normal BCom, but I'm a sucker for getting unsolicited advices from people and taking random people's advice. So of course there was an uncle in the line who said, "Ma, you passed with distinction." Somehow it's a medical miracle even till today that I passed with distinction. So he was like, "Karen, you passed with distinction, man. Try to do something greater. Try to challenge yourself." And I was like, okay, which is the toughest course? Show me. And then they showed me this course, BCom Honors. It has 7 subjects, extra curriculum for no reason. God knows for what they made me study so much. I'm not even using them anywhere. So I took this course, BCom Honors as a course. And honestly, it was quite challenging. First year, it was pretty good. First year was actually terrible because I had to study. Second year was COVID era, so my grades, it was, of course, 100 out of 100. My percentages were too good. Of course, it is hard work. Teachers, it is hard work, teachers. I didn't copy. Okay. So, honestly, during the second year of my college life, that's when COVID happened. And I loved making videos, guys. I loved making videos. And whenever I used to see any comedy video, I used to think, okay, what would be the next joke? I would never see it to entertain myself, but I would always be predicting what happens next. Because I really like making videos and I really like analyzing videos, okay? So this is where I thought, okay, you know what? Now COVID, even if they bully me, I can do one thing. I can just turn off my Wi-Fi because bullying will stop. Nobody can come and bully me in person. So even if they have to come at me online, it's just a matter of Wi-Fi. I can turn off the Wi-Fi, I can turn them all off, okay? So I was like, okay, let me start my video, okay, video journey. That's when I uploaded my first video. And it was on Instagram. And I remember posting it around like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the night. So just in case I don't have the likes, I'll be like, everybody's sleeping. I'm very dilulu that way. So I had to comfort myself. So I started posting videos during COVID era. And there's something that I learned while posting videos. And one thing that taught me is create something that you wish existed. So many people want to do content creation these days. And they're still figuring out what to do and how to go about it. But my simple advice is, create something that you wish to see out there. Create something that you like, all right? Because honestly, everyone's perspective is different. When we see a video, you will have a different perspective, I'll have a different perspective. And your perspective matters. So that's why I would say create something that you like, that you appreciate, and that you want. And that's what content creation has taught me. And that's when office happened. I started going to work. I was campus placed. I got a 9-to-5 job, human resources. This is the toughest time of my life, guys, honestly. I worked in a medium enterprise company, which means I literally didn't have that much work to do. So people used to get fired for me to hire them back. So that was my office. My office was working like that because I didn't have any work. They created work for me. So this was me in corporate. I was not a baddie. I was a saddie, actually. So I was very sad in corporate. I used to listen to breakup songs. That's how sad I was. I didn't even have a breakup, by the way. So I was pretty sad. And honestly, corporate took a toll out of me because I used to go to office. I used to sit and plan scripting, editing, and then think what I have to do for the next video. Life was so jam-packed. The only difference is I didn't like my office, but I had to go because they were paying me, so I had to go there. So I used to sit and work, and honestly, life got at me. And one thing that office made me feel is, you don't have the permission to take rest. You don't have the permission to feel, I deserve this rest. Because whenever you feel you deserve rest, you feel like you're not hustling enough. Because right now, hustle culture is really taking a toll on us. Every single one. Right now, you're studying and you're working. People are like, it's not enough. It's not enough. So hustle culture really took a toll on me. And one thing I learned from office is that it's okay to take rest. So hustle culture really took a toll on me, and honestly it was very difficult for me to overcome that negative feeling, but still I kept going, honestly, because I had to get paid. Something that I learned from my journey is when I quit my job in the year of 2023, November, saying that that's okay. That's okay not to be hustling all the time. That's okay to take some rest. That's okay to follow something that you really like. And when I did it, I was very scared. Because honestly, where is the money going to come from? Because content creation is not stable. To be very honest, guys, working in this field, content creation is not a very stable job. Sometimes you will have like good money. Sometimes you will have no money, but a stable job always gives you money every month. And being the oldest daughter of the family, I have to support my family as well. So I was just thinking how to make this work out. So when I quit my job, I want to particularly tell this to y'all, because usually nobody tells this to people. They say, follow your passion, do this, do that. But I want to tell you guys, when you're following your passion, take calculated risk. Do not leave anything blindly, and do not run for your things like that. When I quit my job, I had some amount. I thought of myself and of my family. I was like, how can I make my family work even after quitting? So I had a stable amount in my bank account, and that's when I took that risk of, quitting my job. And thankfully, it's all worked out. I've been working out with so many brands. I've been traveling for shoots. I've been acting. I've acted in web series, and I'm now going to act in a movie. And life is great. Praise the Lord. So it turns out really well. And I would just say, take calculated risk. Create things that you wish that existed on the internet. And never doubt yourself. Never doubt yourself. And finally, one legend told me this, which I will take to my grave. Shivadarshini, believe yourself. Okay? So, thank you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.